YouTube channel. It can be very, very intimidating whenever you are first learning how to customize a lace frontal or closure, because we've all been there. We have all overplucked or not bleached the knots or something like that. So it can be very discouraging. If you are relatively new to wearing wigs, it can be very, very intimidating whenever you order a frontal online and it's like either not pre-plucked or it's a light brown tinted lace and you're my complexion or lighter. Like, it can be really, really intimidating. So in this video, I'm going to show y'all how I can kind of finesse a light brown lace. Also, I'm going to teach you guys how I specifically like to pluck my lace fronts. That way I can get it to like mimic my own hairline. So yeah, we're just gonna get into all that good stuff, all my little tips and tricks. So I'm really just trying to help y'all. Before we jump right into the video, please feel free to give this video a big, big thumbs up, as well as subscribing to this channel if you are new. Also, turn on that notification bell so you guys will get alerts whenever I do upload. Like I said in the last couple of videos, I'm telling y'all, this content is about to be dumping out like crazy. So if y'all don't subscribe now and turn on the bell, y'all gonna miss the train and y'all gonna come back in like 4 weeks and it's gonna be like, where all these videos came from? So yeah. So let's just go ahead and jump right into the video. The first thing that I'm doing is blow drying the hair. I just got done deep conditioning this hair and I just rinsed out the conditioner and there's no product on it, and literally all I'm doing is blow drying it. When it comes to plucking, I know that different methods work for different people, but honestly, what worked for me was I watched a combination between LaRasia Andrea's plucking method video as well as I Am Erica J, because both of their plucking methods seem to really be like really good. Like, they can teach almost anybody, like a complete beginner, they can teach you guys how to master plucking, because for me it really, really helped. So basically what you see me doing here is I will part off maybe like just like the very front hairs, and then I will pull them down and then I will pluck those hairs out. I won't really pluck directly on the front of the hairline unless there's like a specific hair that I'm trying to remove. So the tweezers that I am using are the ones that are like kind of like straight on the end. It's kind of like at an angle, and those are the type tweezers that you want to use, because if you were to get like the really, really thin tweezers, it's not going to be strong enough to pull the hairs out the way that you need them to. Also, you don't want to just like go in and like kind of lightly like just pull on the hairs, because then what you're really going to do is like break off the hairs and you're really going to create more baby hairs instead of like actually making the hairline look thinner. So you guys see me using like the flat end of the tweezers, and I am pulling the hair out from the root, and I am taking my time, as well as I'm making sure that I don't pluck too much in one area. Because if you pluck too much in one area of your frontal, you pretty much just wasted like $100+, and we don't want that. I have overplucked frontals before and it is a very miserable feeling. So I would say that it's honestly better to not pluck enough than to pluck too much, because you can always go back in and pluck more where it's needed. Once I finish the one section that I've already parted off, I will part back even further on the frontal and I will pluck out some more hairs there, because if you look at a real person's hairline, it's not really like the first ½ inch is not like thin and then the rest is just like magically full. It's kind of like a gradient into fullness. So you kind of want to make sure that you're like plucking the hairs that are like a little bit further away from the hairline, as well as the ones that are directly on the edges. But again, keep in mind, do not pluck too much. Also, I try to look at what my hairline naturally looks like before I go in and pluck, and mentally in my head I will map out where like the thinner parts of my edges are at. And it's kind of on the part, like, I don't even know how to describe it, but you know the parts of your edges that get like thinner a little bit. I'm gonna insert a photo so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about, because I don't know how to describe that part of my head. But yeah, my hairline is a little bit thinner there than it is like in the middle and by my ears. But I think a lot of people's hairlines are naturally like that. So what you want to do when you're plucking, you want to mimic your real hairline. So you want to pluck a little bit more on those spaces where your hair is like a little bit thinner. And honestly, even though I'm plucking it when it's on like my wig head, whenever I put it on my head, I still will end up going in and plucking a little bit more where it's needed. That way I can perfect the hairline for me. So I would recommend for you guys to pluck as much as you can when it's on the wig head. And then when you put it on your head, that's when you can go ahead and like pluck the little additional hairs that you need to take out. Next, I'm going in with my BioSilk, and I'm just putting a dime-sized amount in my hands and running that all the way through the hair. And then I'm just going in and flat ironing my hair as straight as I can get it, just using the chase method. Ooh, I don't know who I think I am, but We cute. As you guys can see, I've already done my ball cap. If you guys have not seen my previous video on my ball cap method, you guys can click right here to see that. The hairline already looks really, really natural. I didn't have to go in and do any additional plucking, but it may be different once I cut the lace off, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. I also haven't decided if I want baby hairs or not yet. As of right now, the wig looks really, really good and natural like it is. Before I lay my frontal down, I like to go in with the butterfly clips, and I like to just pin all of the hair back, because normally, for me, I can be like very, very messy as far as like making sure that all of the little hairs and flyaways are out of the way. So this just is kind of like a security blanket for me. What you guys see me doing now on camera is just going in and cutting off my ear tabs. This can kind of be tricky because you have to make sure that you measure accordingly, because if you cut your frontal too short, I don't really have anything to tell you, like you're just gonna be sad. But you have to just take your time, and I personally like to cut from the back to the front. That way I don't like cut too much. I don't know, that's just what works for me. Some people can cut from the front to the back, but hey, to each his own. As long as you cut your ear tabs off, you good. To cut off your ear tabs, essentially what you are doing is parting off the extra piece of frontal that you don't need, that is kind of like sitting on your ear as well as partially behind your ear. You guys saw me on camera parting off the extra hair with my finger, and basically what I'm doing is like outlining my ear, and I'm going to use that as the line to follow to cut off my ear tabs. I also realized that I said that I do like to personally cut from the back of the frontal to the front of the frontal, because that honestly gives me the best result. But honestly, whenever I have to switch to like my opposite hand or my non-dominant hand, it never works like that. So you guys can see me on camera cutting from the front to the back, because if I were to cut from the back to the front with my non-dominant hand, I would be like Vincent Van Gogh out here. And I'm really not trying to have my ear bleeding on camera, and we just not doing that. So like I said, as long as you cut the ear tabs off, at the end of the day, that is the goal. To lay my frontal down this time, seeing as how the additional lace is still on there, I'm just going to spray the Got To Be hairspray on there first and then cut the lace off after it dries, because I just want to try that out. I haven't tried that method yet, so we're just going to see how that goes. Before you stick your lace down, you want to make sure that you are laying the lace as flat as possible, because if you still have creases or anything in your lace, you're going to be able to see that once the wig is all the way applied, and that's not cute. So please, please make sure that it is like as flat as it can possibly be. Now that the wig is applied and secure, all I'm going to do is go in with my eyebrow razor, and I'm going to like make little jagged slices, I guess, in my frontal, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to take scissors and cut it straight across, because that doesn't like mimic a real hairline, so we ain't doing that. So I'm going to try to make this look as natural as possible. Before I cut my frontal off, what I will do is I will cut it in sections, because for me that is more manageable. That is completely optional, but again, that's just what works for me. And also you guys can see that I'm taking the metal end of my rat tail comb, and I am going in and kind of like picking up and like moving the frontal back to where I want my hairline to lay, because when you spray the hairspray, it's kind of messy and it's going to go everywhere, so a part of it is going to be on your skin. So I just like using that because it doesn't cause me to lift up the entire frontal, just the places where I want to be lifted up. As y'all can see over here, I did decide to add baby hairs, and I kind of did this one off camera just to see if I wanted it or not. And based on how it's looking with baby hairs, I really like it, because even when I straighten my real hair, I normally will slick my edges. So to me, it looks more natural. I know some people prefer no baby hairs, but this is what I'm doing. Whew. My hair is done and it's pretty. Yay! Y'all, I'm so happy. I'm getting so much better at my frontal applications, because it used to be the struggle, man. I'm telling y'all, practice makes perfect. If y'all are an OG of my channel, y'all already know that since day one, I've always preached about practice makes perfect. And it really does apply, because my wigs used to be looking tragic. I still have to clean up my hairline, so normally what I would do is I would take a Q-tip and 91% alcohol, and I would just go carefully around where I see like the shiny residue. I don't know if y'all can see it on the camera, but maybe if I like turn, like there's some right here and there's some up here, you know, just like clean up the hairline like normal. And then I'm going to tie it up with my do-rag or my scarf, and then I'm gonna go eat like always. Y'all already know your girl be hungry when she's filming. Basically what you guys see me doing here is defining my part. I decided that I wanted to do a middle part, and since this is a light brown lace, my skin complexion, I kind of have to finesse a light brown lace to make it work with my skin tone because it is slightly too dark. But whenever I do the bald cap method as well as put concealer on my part, you really can't tell the difference. But honestly, if I could pick and choose for my skin tone, I would go with a transparent lace. It's just I didn't have one on hand, so you can still make it work. Since my frontal is 10 inches and my bundles are 18 to 22 inches, you guys can definitely tell like in the front that it's like layered. And when it comes to a middle part, I kind of want to have the illusion of like just long hair and it's like not layered at all. So what I decided to do is like pull the hair in the front down to the sides and then like hairspray it and then like pin it to the sides. I am going to add in bobby pins, but that's what I decided to do because that's what your girl wanted for today, and I think it's going to be really, really, really cute. Pretty. Yay. The bobby pin hairstyle is very, very simple. All I did was slide one straight back on both sides, and then I made an X with 2 bobby pins, and then I slid another one right there. That's literally it. Now all I'm doing is straightening my hair, and I did add in a little bit of bio silk just to help it look like uniform and laying in the same direction, because since this hair is layered because like the different lengths of bundles, you will have like some flyaways that are like up here instead of it being like all one length down to the end, and that's the illusion that I'm trying to achieve, so that's why. I feel pretty. Alright y'all, so it's time for me to go ahead and get out of this shirt and get into some cute clothes, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and take my pictures, and then I'm gonna come back and close out the video for y'all. So this brings it to the end of the video. I know that in the video I said that I was going to tie my edges down with the scarf, but the reason why you guys did not see that clip is because I didn't tie my edges, because it actually looks really, really good. The main reason why I didn't tie it though is because the sun was going down and I did not have the time to melt the lace, but again, it looks really good. I'm happy with the application, so yep. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below in the comment section, and that's pretty much it. So I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.